Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And another one. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I said another one. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a mother smack at it. Bye-ya, bye-ya, bye-ya. Orale, as you can tell by that thumbnail right there. Got him. Yes, indeedy. I wrote graffiti on the bus. I'm going to tell you an untold story about whens they got me. They got me. Caught me slipping. Caught me lacking. But was I lacking? One never knows, does one. I just know that the wind blew that day. Here's a story about me getting smacked on, getting smashed, getting jumped by my own familia, my own peoples, my own homeboys. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, and that's the way it goes sometimes. When you're lacking and you're not in the right state of mind and you're not being aware and watching out for those that are closest to you, that's when they creep on you. That's when they get you. You know, there's been plenty of times throughout history I said, guard, when I've gotten my issue. I know you have, right? And when you're always getting that upper hand, you're always catching other people, you get complacent. You get used to it. You know, you get vulnerable. You know, you get to thinking, hey, ain't no one tripping off me, man. Can't no one do nothing to me. And that's when you make your first mistake. The first mistake is thinking you can't be touched. The second mistake is thinking that even if they touch you, Sasuke, you're going to come back from it. The third mistake is just a third mistake, and that can go any which way but loose, right? But one thing I will tell you for sure is I've been jumped on, beat up, shot, stabbed, battery packed, all that throughout my life. I've tasted a little bit of sangre, okay? I've understood, and I know what it is to be on the short end of the stick, to catch that elbow, you know? So that's why, you know, I watch myself. I correct myself. If I'm getting disrespectful, if I feel I'm getting loose with it, or I'm going one way, you know, Sasuke, stop, think about it, and hit the other way. And that's what's kept me basically aware. Now, when I first got out of prison and I wasn't no longer in good standings, you know, I was a very trusting individual. See, I had that mindset still that no one's gonna know us. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to blend in and still play the role because I knew better than to do that. But I was thinking no one's really gonna trip off me back in the town. No one's really gonna hate on me because I made this move and I got off where I was mad at. No one's really gonna care. And I was totally mistaken. The ones that cared the most about it were the ones closest to me because they felt some type of way. See, I've been in situations where a lot of my homeboys have fell off. They went and functioned on the yard they weren't supposed to, or they caught a case that just wasn't the greatest case of them all. You know, not no weirdo shit because we don't get down like that. But, you know, they did something, or they made a fatal mistake where their career ended. And when I'm talking about careers, I'm not talking about your career at Wiener Schnitzel or McDonald's, I say. I'm talking about a career in the underworld, in the gang life. You know, that's also a career. You make a career out of it. You're gangbanging. You're with the business, right? And it doesn't quite work out for everyone. So when I chose to step back, or when I chose to get off knowing that it was going to have some ramifications or repercussions, I got out thinking, I'm going to pay it no never mind. Ain't nobody tripping. Now, I've told the story about me going to the parole office, and right when I got there, Vatos like, what happened at Susanville? Jamming me up from the gate, and then getting jammed up several times around the town. That was to be expected. I knew that was coming. I was a hard-headed individual at that time. Still am a little hard-headed, right? But I was more hard-headed then, and still with that business, to the point where couldn't no one tell me nothing, Holmes. Get off where you're mad at. You know, if you're that upset with me, handle your biz wax. I say I'm not tripping. Handle your business. But at the end of the day, I was tripping a little bit because I like the way my jaw works. I like the way it's connected to this bone. So anyways, what had happened was I had a primo. That was deep in the game. He's functioning. He's super functioning, handling his business out of the Bay Area. And we were having a barbecue at my family's house, right? And I felt that because I'm a Vallero, I'm from Merced, anything that had to do with me concerning Norteño business had to do with the Valle. The Bay Area can't trip off me, won't trip off me, shall not trip off me. The wind's blowing over here, homie. No one knows what's up. I could come over here, eat a bomb-ass carne asada, sip a Corona, cello, and everything's going to be perfect. Or was it? See, one never knew that day, did one? And that was my demise. That's why you see me on the ground getting placated. That's what happened. So, anyways, we pull up to my primo's house, and I notice that my primo has a lot of his homeboys there. There's a lot of people, but I'm thinking, these vatos don't know me. They're not going to pay me no never mind. I'm sure my primo and my other primo and all these homeboys that know me real tough, they're not going to trip. They're not going to say nothing. Half of them don't even know who I am and what's going on with me, my status or anything. And the other half are not going to care because I'm familia, right? I'm coming to the party. Says, I walked in. I'm cool too. You know what I mean? I thought I was the older primo. But little did I know they were plotting and planning my demise. Maybe not to the point of death, but they definitely wanted to kick my bitch. And you kicked my teeth out. Right? They were going for my teeth. That guy did one of these. I gritted down. So we're kicking back, and when I got the slightest indication that something was wrong, was because there were certain homeboys that were my primo's homeboys that I used to chop it up with. They wouldn't talk to me. They wouldn't even look in my direction. So I put my primo to the side. I'm like, hey, Holmes, what's going on? What's up with the homeboy Jaime over there? You know what I mean? Get back in the days, you didn't want me. Now I'm hot and the hoes all on me, and he used to chill and shit. He was like, he's feeling some type of way about, what happened with you. I said, well, what happened with me? I'm trying to play it off. What happened? He said, well, bro, you chose to take a step back. I said, I didn't choose to take a step back, but I was forced to take a step back. Anyways, to what degree of stepping back are we talking about here? And what are we actually discussing? He says, you know what it is, man. Just do your thing, man. You're my cousin. You're my primo. And we're going to trip on you like that. Well, little did I know he was the ringleader, right? He was the one tripping the most. He was the one spreading propaganda and everything about me. I guess he was doing what he was supposed to do. At the end of the day, I laced him up well, right? So they're kicking back in the corner. There's no pockets of homeboys. There's homeboys over here that are giving me a little. There's homeboys over here that are doing there's homeboys over here. Get out of here, right? Everyone's giving me little indicators, but I'm not picking up on it. My antennas were not working that day. I was thinking, man, this is my familia's house. If anything, all these putos can go. I'm going to kick back and chill. I'm going to eat some bomb-ass tortas, and then I'm going to give me a bomb-ass torta, you know what I mean? Because I'm already looking at my prima's homegirls. There's one over there. She's sitting down, and I can hear the chair going like this. When she sits down, but at the same time, I'm wondering what that chair do. You know what I mean? I'm wondering how that chair smells. If it smells like pescado, I'm up out of here. But anyways, so I'm posted up. Little did I know, to the right-hand side of me, these vatos were plotting and planning to body bag me, or to at least do some bad things, allegedly. So as the night wears on, I'm not a big drinker, or I wasn't at that time. I like to sip a little here and there now. But I wasn't really a big drinker. I took a couple shots with the familia. The music's bumping. Everybody's dancing. One of my tios, he has like a big concrete slab. So the hyenas are out there getting their let's groove tonight. I'm doing the butterfly. See, I'm ready to I'm twerking, right? I'm ready to get my groove on with them. And everybody else, they're kicking back, searching from. They're over there on their crucito and their guy negro stuff. So they're not really paying attention to what's going on. And I'm definitely not picking up that there's any tension. When I first got there, so people got quiet. I'm like, what you have to being quiet for? Guard! Handle your business, right? I'm not really paying attention, but at the same time, I should have been. Back in the days, my awareness, and even my awareness now, I'd have been up out of there. I'd have been like, nah, you know what I mean? Let me take a taco for the road and a torta, and I'm out. Straight up. But this time, I was vulnerable. I was susceptible to getting beat down because I didn't pay attention, because I got comfortable thinking my family wouldn't do this to me. How could you do this to me? Well, they were about to show you, and I'm about to tell you exactly how they did this to me. So I'm kicking back, and it was actually the 4th of July. So our plan was to kick back in the backyard, party till the lights went down. Once the sun goes down, man, we were going to go in the front yard, Bay Area living, shoot off all kinds of fireworks, man. My tío had the good ones, the ones that shoot up in the air. And so we're going to do our thing. So that we actually got to that point. We all went to the front, and we're letting off fireworks, right? Now, every firework that went off, I'm watching my back. Got to watch my back. Because, that would be the chance that someone could come up and the popularization would be real. I've already been hit in the back of the head once. I don't need twice, right? I barely called back out the abyss from that one. So I'm posted up. Going on torta like that. Look at, I'm all stretched out over here. I'm doing my thing. Hey, mija, look at you. Like the pink color, the way it goes like that. She's like, I'm hungry. Let's go get another taco. So we're chilling. And I noticed this little group of homeboys in the beginning that were in the corner plotting and planning on me are starting to edge closer to me, to where my primo says, hey, let us get at you in the back. Now that right there should have been the notification that I needed to bounce, needed to jump in my whip and dip out. But I was like, la primera, Holmes, right? I appreciate you, man. Let me go in the back. So of course, when I went in the backyard, all my familia is still in the front watching the fireworks and everything. But here's my primo and his homeboys, my other primo, you know, a distant cousin, who really doesn't give a shit about me. He's on his Marvin Gaye hype, right? So I go in the back and I'm like, what's up? What's cracking? They're like, hey, what happened in Susanville? We need a complete rundown. We need to know, man, just, you know, because we're over here functioning and partying with you and we don't want to get looked at bad. I said, no one even knows you're here, but what's up? Anyway, so I ran him down the story, and there was a couple homeboys, all right, I could identify with that, and then another homeboy who's all gangster with it, you know what I mean? He's like, bro, but why you have to fire on another homeboy? I said, to what degree of homeboy are we talking about here? The one that was on the R, or what are you talking about, bro? I said, this is the way it goes. I laced a lot of you vatos up every time I came from the Valle. Remember, hey, big homie. I laced you guys up. Look, this is the way it goes, homeboy. The vatos weren't feeding into what I had to give them and what I was saying. Okay, I wasn't feeling what they were doing, and that's just it, and it didn't work out quite well for me. Spencer, humps. You know what I mean? These vatos got off something violently and viciously on me. Let me tuck my ears because they be poking out one time. They kicked me from one end of the backyard to the other. They was trying to body bag me. There was that big vato. He was hitting me with the tiger uppercut knees. I got the tiger. Oh my goodness, right? Boom, boom, boom. I was getting hit from every angle. Degenerate, D.O., dropout, leva, punk. I got called everything in the world. I'm trying to hit him with the please. I said, please. Right? But they're on me. Now, I'm waiting for the ultimate blow. I'm waiting to feel if I'm going to get shanked or stabbed or whatever you want to call it. I'm not a bully, right? I'm waiting to see if Joey Stacks is going to pull the pico out on me. But they didn't. They were just basically give me a chequeada. Give me a checking. They're beating me down. They said, hey, you disrespected us by coming to this party. I said, you vatos invited me. Yeah, but we didn't think you were going to show up. This was all said after. You know, after I'm on the ground leaking. And I'm the vato, well, why you do this to me? Right? My lips all big and shit. Look like I got the hurt, right? Why you do this to me? There's a reason why they did it to me. The reason they did it to me, there's two reasons. One, they felt that if for no other reason, it was disrespectful because I was acting so nonchalant. I wasn't paying attention to the game. I was thinking because it was my family, I was getting comfortable and I could just do whatever I wanted to do. And you can't do that. Okay? So I deserved what I got. The other thing was karma. For every bad thing I had ever done, for all this game I had given them, it was coming back on me. Because believe me, I used to be in that same backyard drinking a pistol with them. Talk about, hey, if you see dropouts, if you see this, if you see any indications that a vato couldn't handle his own when he was in a pinta, get him. Got him, right? In fact, I'll be the first one to fire on him. And now here I was on the short end of the stick, getting smacked on. Now I understand that's the way it goes. But it still hurt my heart. You know, to what degree of heart they didn't rip out was left. Because it was horrible that night, man. The ambulance did get called. I did get carted off. Man, they did me pretty dirty. You know, I was in the hospital for about 2 days. I was bleeding internally. They smacked me. You know, they smacked me pretty good without weaponry. You know, just about 5 or 6 dudes just putting it on me, man. Getting them clean hits. And you know, the ones that are, you're, guard! Right, help! Lock somebody up. I don't care to what degree. I ain't telling, but I'm just ain't. You know, do what you gotta do. Right? Like I said, they drugged me. They were catching me. Meanwhile, all my family's in the front. Oh, look at how beautiful the lights are. Oh, it's the 4th of July. I'm in the back. Every time it seemed like a firecracker went off, one went off in my head, right? There was explosions everywhere that night. So definitely what was going on in the backyard to me was setting it off more than what was going on in the front yard. When they finally did find me in the backyard, my primos and all the homies were just drinking in the back, laughing, and I'm sitting there, right? I'm all jacked up. They come, they snatch me up. My tio's like, hey, who did this to my nephew? My primo's like, get him out of here, right? Man, they dragged me to the front. Ambulance was called. You know, the placas came. Hey, well, who did this? It was 2 black guys. You know what I mean? Of course, it was the black guys who did it, right? They ran. Because I'm not going to tell my family. You know what I mean? I understood the game, and I understand the game. I understand why they did it. I just didn't think they would. So anyways, a couple days later, I get out of the hospital, and I call my primo. You know, and my tío, I call my tío, I said, hey, is whoop-de-whoop there? And he goes, yeah, he's hearing me over. What's up? Are you all right? I said, but barely. Let me talk to that fool, right? So he gets on the phone. He's like, what do you want? I said, listen. Don't get fly with me. Don't go in that closet because everything you came with is waiting for you in the. Listen, Orange Juice Jones, right? I understand why you guys did what you did, but I expected more out of you for being my primo and to understanding my plight and giving me the benefit of the doubt and you know, hearing me out. You already had it made up in your mind what you vatos were going to do. Now, I understand I laced you in the game and I taught you a certain way. And for that, I'll say, hey, respects. You did what you felt you had to do. But at the end of the day, man, there's also a thing called due process, man. You got to hear someone out. If at the end you don't feel that what he's saying is righteous, then do what you do. And he said, I ain't trying to hear all that. I said, oh, but you're trying to hear everything else I told you before, huh? Well, hear this. Back in the days, I boned your old lady. Hear that. Click. Hung up on him. Where were your antennas when I was just Lady Gaga, right? Boom. Hung up on him. Figure that one out, though, one time for your mind. And if you don't remember it again. Anyways, so yeah, I did get back at it, and it was deserving. You know, it was deserving. When you're in the game at a different level, and you're playing the game well, and you stop playing, you don't collect 200 and pass go and all that, you know, people are going to feel some type of way. But I did get God. It was a bad situation because it was on my own peoples that did it to me, and they did it well. You know, like I said, they got me up out of there in the ambulance, and for 2 days I sat there, and I was miserable and depressed in the hospital room. I wasn't in a coma or nothing like that. It wasn't that serious. But I sat there and had a lot of time to think about it. I had about 48 hours to think about where my life went wrong, you know, or where my life went right. Where my life went wrong was I felt so miserable because of the situation that I was put in, gente. I don't feel, even to this day, that I put myself in that situation. It wasn't like I ran to the program office and I was like, yeah, I'm having a heart attack, I need to go. There was none of that. I was a righteous, solid soldado, man, since a kid, sacrificing so much time and so much aggression that I put into things only to be let down, you know, and it hurts. And I know you hear a lot of these sob stories, and there's vatos, man, that's what you signed up for. No, that ain't what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for my own canales that show me canalismo to turn their back on me because they was me or the R. That's not what I signed up for, homeboy. You know, I signed up for love, respect, you know, for that real gangsterism, you know, for the opposition to crumble and us to not to fumble. But somewhere along the line, hey, we dropped the ball at the 1 yard line, huh? Or at least I did, supposedly. So anyways, but they did. They smacked me pretty good. Nowadays, me and my primo, we get along just fine. We did catch a fatal rally. You know what I mean? We did need to catch one of those when he fell off. Oh, how the day changes. Oh, what a difference a day makes. Well, let me tell you his story. He happened to go to the county jail. And when he was in the county jail, see, he liked to bone other dudes' old ladies. That was his thing. He was on that one. You know what I mean? Just like I did his. The wind blew. Benson runs in the family, I guess, right? He definitely was into that, and he got found out by one of his homeboys. And yes, he terribly and horribly was in the wrong for doing that. See, when I did it, I didn't do it to the degree of gangbanging. He went from my water. So actually, in all reality, it wasn't my homeboy. I don't know. I'm just trying to justify it. But you understand how I was going. She was bad, too. Benza. I think I have her number somewhere in one of my phone books. I never scratched her name on my telephone book because I always knew I'll take a second look. Or will I? One never knows, does one. They never had kids together, so it's still fair game. Is it fair game, gente? Leave a comment, like and subscribe. Anyways, he ended up getting caught up in the county jail, which he got removed. And he got scratched on a little bit with a few picos. I'm not going to sit here and say I was sad about it. I believe that he definitely deserved some type of repercussion for his actions. And then after, it was like, hey, you want to come over for a carne asada? I'm on the other side now. Nah, I know you're on the other side now. Again, when I'm going to go over there, you're going to be on a different side. The ground side, because I still remember what you guys did to me last time. And like a poop butt in a bottle, so I pulled up to the carne asada. And hey, trip out. Half the gurus that jumped me, done been fell off, and they're in the backyard kicking, hey, come over here. I don't want to go over there. Last time I went over there, I ended up over there. I know better. Anyways, you never know what can happen to you, man. If you're in the game, just play the game well, gente. You never know how it's going to end up and who's going to win and who's going to lose. And most of the time in this life that we live, 99% of us are losers. We lose. Spencer, just the way it is. Anyways, just a story I wanted to tell. Early morning shot that got me. I got caught lacking, slipping, and my own family did be bad. It happens. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I'm mad right now. I'm going to call my primo right now. We might catch another fade. I'm upset. Anyways, move smooth with a purpose, man. Get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about you and your familia. Like I thought it was about me and mine. You know what it is, man. Hit that like and subscribe if you mess with your boy, man. Heavy's going to be the head that wears this crown. I'm about to call my primo and put it down. You already know what it is. This is the gun. Bang, bang.